Welcome to KGXT, Gen X Talks podcast, live from Central California.
Making plans with the boys. I'm gonna hit the town. Yeah, I'm gonna make some noise. I'll push past the pain and my wounded pride. I'm gonna live it up. Yeah, stay out all night.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, the butt.
1, 2, 3, the butt.
1, 2, 3, the butt. I actually started like a little bit before 10. Do you think that's throwing everybody off? Are they now running with their cups of coffee back to their chairs because they figured they had time? He's always late. We're fine. He's always late. Welcome to the Gen X Talks podcast, broadcasting from the KGXT studios, 200 feet below occupied California. I can't say that much longer.
No, you're going to have to come up with something else.
What am I going to have to say? Should we make it happier on purpose? Like, well, golly gee willikers, we're in Nevada broadcasting from the Loop Studios. Woohoo!
Oh, wow. I'd really like to have that on tape somewhere.
Every time. It's got to be every time.
I'm
just
rolling my eyes.
Confetti going off every time.
You know what? There's just not, I don't have enough coffee today.
You don't think you've had any coffee?
I can't deal with you.
No,
today.
this morning was a little bit awkward to say the least. That was
Well, the last 2 nights I've been up from like 2 to 4
yeah.
in the morning. Well, one is the dogs get up.
Yeah, they've been acting really weird lately, especially like in the middle of the night. They like come over and get you up, and even if they don't have to go out.
Yeah, we just got to go downstairs and they got to go investigate.
Yeah, it's like, hey, if we're not sleeping, you're not sleeping, Mom.
And then I come back and they're moving around on their beds or they're flapping their ears.
Oh my God, Riker turns around on his bed, and his bed makes noise.
Yes.
He turns and turns and turns and turns until if I'm up like at midnight or something, I will yell at him, "Lay down, motherfucker! God, you're pissed." I know it's worse to yell that, but he'll go for 6 or 7 minutes turning in circles.
Yes.
Like he's trying to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, nothing's changing, dude. Just fucking lay down.
So after I do that, I'm up. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just can't go back to sleep. So I get my book and then I read.
When I toss and turn at night, I kind of glance over at you, and twice last night you were doing something on your iPad. I'm like, I'm not even going to ask. I really don't want to have a conversation right now.
So I went to bed about 4, and then the dog started barking at 7:30 or something?
Well, yeah,
it was
the doorbell rang.
Hi.
That was the doorbell rang, and you ran downstairs.
Yeah, I didn't know why. I was just,
Right.
I got up running.
I knew why, but that's why I didn't go running with you, because I'm like, all right. But
I didn't know what was going on. But oh my gosh, because I got up so fast.
Yeah.
I was sick. Like I got a headache right away.
Right.
And then my stomach was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, I was like, I got to lay back down.
The guys were here. A couple guys came out, scrap guys, trash guys, debris guys, if you will. I talked to him yesterday about coming out, and so I said, I texted him. I said, just give me a second, I'll be right there. And because we had, in the cleaning of the garage and the house, I had told all of our helpers, our workers, I said, just put everything on the side of the house that's trash. Make a big trash pile on one side of the house. We'll get it later. So which is good because now it's not tucked everywhere in corners. It's like, just put it all there.
Right.
So then these guys came out. And they backed their truck up in the driveway, their trailer, and got going on stuff. And I went out and sat with them. And I said, okay, this stuff goes, this stuff stays. There's a few things that I wanted to keep. Briggs will be happy to know I kept a wheelbarrow, the one that has one wheel.
Uh-oh.
He hates that.
He hates that
He
one.
hates that one. He's like, he goes, who invented a wheelbarrow with only one wheel? And I go, that's the way they've been made my whole life. He goes, they make them with 2 wheels now. I go, right, but you can't go places. You can't turn as sharp. You can't. He goes, yeah, whatever, man. He goes, nobody should quit making wheelbarrows with one wheel. That's stupid. There's one yawn.
Oh, it's going to be, I
in the
haven't had
studio.
my coffee.
No. Well, I couldn't. You were sick, so you didn't go get your coffee. I was sitting with the guys. I didn't go get your coffee. And Briggs is 400 miles away. He didn't go get your coffee.
Could have had it delivered.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I could have my coffee delivered.
A good husband probably would have done that very thing.
Yeah, you're slacking.
I am.
You better make up for it tomorrow.
I don't even know what you're talking about because I'm tired. I can't even wake up. What's tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow's your birthday. That's I forgot. I will get you not only will I go get your favorite coffee, I will get you a Danish and a hearty handshake.
Wow.
And I will say, that's another lap around the sun. Well done. And we'll
I keep looking in the mirror going, wow.
I'm old. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm kind of going, wow. Didn't think I'd make it this far, but hey.
No, yeah, you're here and say, well, and at least on your body, things are still in the right places. It's mine or not.
That's true. But gravity is starting to set in.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Well, sweetheart, I wouldn't have noticed. If you hadn't said anything, I would not have noticed. Where was I? What was I? Oh, the guys on the side of the house. So the guys come and, they weren't charging. There's a lot of stuff there, and they were going to haul it away for a couple $100. And I'm like, there you go. I don't have to drive to the dump and do all that. The guy, first of all, the guy felt bad about charging me any money.
Why?
Because we were throwing away stuff that he wanted.
Oh.
That old workbench that I bought from Lowe's 20 years ago, I said, I don't want it anymore. And he's like, I can really have this? And I said, yeah. You got rid of 3 dressers that just needed knobs, but we were using it in our garage for just storage. And he goes, well, I like these. I said, well, you can keep them. I don't care what you do with them.
Right.
There was, I think I kept 6 propane tanks, and there were 6 more, and they were all good, all dated new, but I'm not going to store any more propane tanks. I'm taking them with me. So, he says, I'll take them and keep them. Oh, you know what he wanted? Your table and chairs from the backyard, the gray one, the one that we painted gray.
Oh, yeah.
And he wanted the stand that goes under it for the umbrella. I said, you can have all that stuff. And he was just thrilled. His prized possession, the thing I gave away, that old antique scale.
Oh, yeah.
That you've hated since the day I bought it. You've hated that thing. And I loved it. It was an old antique scale. And when I say antique, I'm talking...
like when you went to the doctor a long time ago when you were a little kid, you had to stand on that old scale and they had a balance, a scale, an actual scale.
You slide the weights.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he says, does it work? And I said, well, it might need to be calibrated. And he goes, well, how does it work? Because he didn't even know how it worked.
Really?
Yeah. And this guy was the same age as me. He goes, well, so I said, well, stand on the scale. And I said, if you know how much you weigh, slide the big weight to the number under your weight, then slide the little weight to your weight. And he goes, oh. And it came out to exactly 200 pounds. And he got mad. He goes, no, that's, my boots weigh 15 pounds for sure. And I said, look, he goes, well, my wife's going to get mad if she finds out I weigh that much. I'm listening to this guy's whole story. He just had a pacemaker put in.
Oh, shit.
Like a month ago or 3 weeks ago. And he's telling me, he goes, I can't lift my hands over my head because my pacemaker has 2 wires that go to my heart. And if I lift my hands over my head, it may pull the wires out of my heart. I said, well, don't put your hands over your head, dude. What are you doing?
Oh, that brings back memories of my my catheter thing that I had. Same idea.
It wasn't a catheter.
It was a...
that catheters went up your hoo-ha. Was it like a stint?
No, it wasn't a stint. I can't remember.
It was in your chest, though. It was a big, long deal. Yeah.
That's where I got my chemo, and that's where they give me my blood and everything. Yeah. When you move your arm, like when I came home with it and we patched it and I took a shower because I wore it for a year. Yeah. Or more, and you could feel it. You could feel it move. It's weird.
Well, he was worried about it. Then he's worried about, because I guess his wife is always getting on him about his weight, because of the... So he weighs himself, and I said, look, just tell her that it's not calibrated. It's an old scale. Tell her it doesn't work, And he goes, well, how do you calibrate it? And I said, well, you slide the big weight to 0, the little weight to 0, and you see if the reading isn't in the middle. Right. And it is. It did.
Oh, so no.
He goes, what does that mean? I go, it means you're 200 fucking pounds, dude. He goes, no, it's not calibrated right. I go, look, dude, the big weight's at 0, the little weight's at 0. You're good.
Oh, my gosh.
Are you checking to see if anybody can hear us?
Yeah, everything's fine. And I was right. It is a catheter, a Hickman catheter. Thank you, Dr. Shadowlight.
Oh, well.
Hickman catheter. That's what I had.
That's right. We just called it a Hickman.
Right. Yeah, but it is a catheter that I had. Thank you for clearing that up.
Oh, well, 1 point for Team Queen.
Well, you gave me a look like that's not what it was. And I'm like, yes, it is.
We always called it a Hickman. We never called it a catheter.
Well, I'm really sorry.
Anyway, so the guy was talking to me about stuff, and the younger guy noticed the magnet on the back of the truck about Gen X Talks, and so the old guy was going, well, he's because the younger guy was trying to explain. I think he was trying to explain it to him in Mexican, Spanish, and he didn't quite get it. So I said, well, the guy comes over. The old guy wants to see it on my phone. I went, I don't. So I found our link tree, and I went to there, and I go, so here, and I played him like 4 videos. He thought that was the greatest thing ever. He couldn't believe it. He goes, I've never watched TikTok. I'm not on Facebook or YouTube at all. He goes, but I'm going to go subscribe to this. So he thought that was just a kick in the pants.
Wow, you gained a follower.
Yeah, I gained a subscriber just in conversation.
That's cool.
And then the younger guy was looking like, I told you. I told you this was the guy.
And we're leaving.
Yeah, we're leaving. Yeah. So
did he ask why we were throwing all this stuff away?
He did. He goes, I said, well, we're moving and I can't take it. I don't have a place for it. I keep putting stuff in storage. I don't really have time to do a big yard sale and sell stuff. And so, some of the stuff has just got to go. But there was quite a bit out there that he wanted. And he set it aside on the yard. Then he put it in his truck. And I said, I don't care what you do with it. I'm paying you to throw it out. But he felt bad taking the money. He goes, I'm going to sell some of this stuff and I'm going to keep some. He goes, I said, look, dude, you're getting rid of it for me.
Doing us a favor.
Just take the money. We agreed on a price and we did. And that was how that ended. So.
Well, very cool.
Now you know what I know. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, pacemaker and all.
So we went back and forth about doing an extra run up to Nevada.
Yeah, I just the main reason why I didn't go. Well, first we were all going.
Right.
Then it was Briggs and I are going.
Right.
You even packed me up.
Yes, I did.
Pointed and said, "Go." You were going to keep the dogs, and at the last minute, I decided to stay because the home inspector was going to be here, and I knew that was a big deal, and I didn't want you to have to deal with it. And so we sent Briggs. Briggs left before 6 a.m. And then he went to pick up his friend Isaac. He was so looking forward to this road trip with his buddy.
I bet he was.
He was like, this is going to be great. Because he's done all these trips by himself before.
Or with the dog.
Or with his dog. Yeah, he had Riker. Yeah. And this one, then he sat out in front of his house for 20, 25 minutes and was texting him, go, come on, let's go. He's, well, my mom says I'm sick. My mom says I can't travel with a cold. And Brigger's all, just get your punk ass in the truck. Let's go. It's going to be fun. He wouldn't do it.
Yeah, how old are you?
So Briggs left. Briggs had to go by himself.
Yeah.
One scary experience.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
you didn't tell me till now?
Right. I didn't. And I had a premonition the night before because my computer was on my desk in my room. And I was watching all the TikTok videos and there was 35 faces of Briggs on my screen. And all of a sudden I looked over at the pictures of Briggs on the screen and I got scared that he shouldn't go. And I, you can't, every time you get worried as a parent, you can't, smother them or wrap them in bubble wrap. But I was going to say, I don't want you to go. And I didn't say anything. So I didn't tell you. I didn't tell him. Next morning he gets up and he goes. So I guess it was he's been on the road for a couple hours, 9:30. And I had texted him in the morning. I just said, make sure you give yourself enough room to stop. I know you've towed before, but sometimes you're going to get careless. You're going to get lackadaisy about it. I said, remember you're towing a trailer. Give yourself room to stop. And that was probably at 7 or 8 in the morning. But by maybe it was about 9:30 or 10, I just decided to call him and check in on him. And he goes, everything's fine. He goes, but I had a close call. And I said, what happened? He goes, I saw traffic stopping in front of me. He was on the 99. He goes, I saw traffic stopping in front of me, so I put on my brakes. But everybody stopped a lot quicker than I thought they were going to. It looked like we were all slowing down, and they weren't.
Oh, God.
They came, everyone, like 85 cars weren't slowing down gradually. He goes, I put on my brakes, and the next thing I know, everyone stopped in front of me.
Oh.
He goes, and I locked up the brakes, and I skidded within about a foot of the car in front of me.
Oh, my God.
And I go, well, I bet that woke you up. He goes, yeah. He goes, it's just one of those things where I was paying attention, but it was just, and I know that's happened to me before, just driving a regular car. You go to stop and then you realize the people are stopped. They're not stopping. They're stopped. And it just happens. I think it's probably happened to all of us. We've done that, one time or another. But he says, so yeah, I'm awake. He goes, I'm not going to let that happen again. But it was weird that I had the premonition. I was going to tell him not to go, and I know that probably wouldn't have done much damage to him, but he goes, as soon as I stopped, I turned on my hazard so people wouldn't run in behind me, and he goes, that was good. But So that was his close call there. He goes, it was scary for about half a second. He goes, I'm fine now. And then, he drove up there, got his stuff done, went and got himself some dinner, of course, and he's playing his video games at night. But this morning I was talking to him, and I was, it was before 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was trying to be encouraging, saying, listen, I don't want to tell you what to do, but because Brigger's been lazy his whole life, and, he doesn't do things in the right order. So I said, you really ought to think about getting up early. You got to get on the road. You got to go get the trailer. You got to, unload the trailer. Plus, I need you to go to the second storage unit, and you got to reorganize it. I got a full trailer here ready to go, but you got to reorganize that. You got to, I can't rent a third one. It'd be too much money. And so I'm talking. He goes, Dad, I'm already on the road. I said, what? He goes, I'm already almost to Uncle Joe's. And I said, so I checked on the 360 app. Sure enough, yeah, he was already well on his way. He goes, I'd already been there, but he goes, I made myself some breakfast and, picked up my stuff and cleaned up a little bit, and I'm dead. Wow. I'm going. So he was already starting his morning early to get stuff done, which was great. That was a good thing.
Awesome. I think this move is going to be good for him. I really do.
He is really looking forward to a new town and starting over, and he really is looking forward to working with Ben, learning, some construction stuff. So I hope. And
he just loves it up there. He smiles and just loves just the area, just everything about it.
He loves everything. Yeah, the only thing he doesn't love is he's going to be away from his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But he knows that he can come visit. He's made the drive a bunch of times, and he knows that she'll be up there in 6 months. She'll be there. She'll be up in that area. So. He did ask me, he goes, they invited me to go to the beach with them on Saturday. And I said, not a chance, dude. I said, I'm very accommodating to you, but everything we're doing now is about fixing the house by what the inspector saw, on the list. There's only one thing that I want to do that's going to be a little bit of an effort. The pool gear, I'll take care of all that. I'm not worried. And then I had to argue with the inspector. He came out and said that, he said, the back of our waterfall going into our pool, he goes, it shows moisture. That means that you have a leak inside the waterfall, and you have to rip the whole waterfall out of the ground to get to it. I go, you know what, dude, I'll be honest with you. I've never seen any moisture ever. He goes, well, it's on the inside. I go, then it would leak out. If there was water hitting the backside of that waterfall from the inside where it was built, if there was a leak, it would be all over the ground out here. It would seep out. It's not watertight.
Right.
And so I had to finagle to get the pump running again because the brand new switch I bought broke, and I got the pump running, and the water slide, your shitty water slide that you made me buy, has a drip at the top of it, and it comes down and it splashes right on the side of the waterfall. He goes, oh, well, that's where the moisture's coming from. I said, well, yeah, but what if I hadn't, what if I hadn't shown you this? Your report would have said I got to rip apart the waterfall. I'm not doing that.
He's just a kid.
He's smart, though. He was really smart. He was on the ball. He was good.
He looked like he was 12.
He did.
And then he told us he was 26. And I go, liar.
Yeah, I know. He looked like he's 12 years old, but the kid was smart. He did a great job. He came and talked to me afterwards, told me all the stuff, and asked me some questions. And there was a water stain in our living room, and I said, we fixed it. We had a roofing company come out.
We have the receipt.
It's a bad gutter. He goes, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, that's right. Where he saw the gutter that had been reworked. He goes, okay, I got you. I mean, we talked about everything. I didn't hide anything from him at all.
That's good. What did he say about the diving board?
He didn't. And I'm going to tell whoever we sell it to, don't use that. I mean, it's an old diving board. I wouldn't trust it. Just buy another one, put it on there. I'm not doing it.
Right.
Because technically in the state of California, I don't think you're allowed to have diving boards anymore.
I don't think so.
So I don't know whether we have to remove it to sell it as is.
They removed my mom's.
What's that?
They removed my mom's when they flipped it.
Yeah, when they sold it, I think they did. I think we'll probably have to take it off, but it's got the standard pattern for another one. I can't put it on there. Yeah. So
I just wanted to know what he'd say.
He didn't say a thing about it, and I think the realtor will cover that. But the realtor talked to him and said, "You're good." He goes, "There's a few things to fix. Everything else is cosmetic. Go, man, go." So I got to pay them. I'm waiting for the bill to come in the email. Then I'll pay them. Then we get the report, and then you got to print out the report, and you just got to go down the road with me. Just knock it down. We'll get it done.
Then we can leave.
Then we can leave, and we're done. And Dr. Shadowlight says his mother sold her house in Oregon. When do I get my trailer back? So I texted him back and said, new phone, who dis?
Except that he's listening right now.
Oh, yeah, he's got to be listening. So, I mean, technically, he could have the trailer back right now if we had to do it, because the only thing we have left after we take our next load up there is our stuff. We got one trailer. I could put it all on ours if we had to. I'd like to use his one more time, but if I don't have to, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
So we're okay. I got to fix a couple things that broke on his trailer, but
Don't tell him that. Shh.
they're normal wear
I'm
and
just
tear
kidding.
things. It's not like, I dented it or something. It's just like as you use things, normal use on stuff.
All right.
Like poor things.
I'm changing subject because
What?
I went to go take a shower this morning.
Good for you.
Stop writing on the shower doors before we are moving. I don't want to follow you around all over the house, picking up your clothes, wiping down the shower. Could you please help a woman out?
Listen, this is a very strenuous time for me. And if I have to relieve some anxiety by working out the mysteries of the universe with a bar of soap on a piece of glass in the shower, I think you should extend me that courtesy. That's how I feel about it.
Then clean it.
Well, sometimes I want to keep that things up there because the next day I want to continue my thoughts.
No.
But you always erase it.
I do.
You never leave anything. What if how many problems Einstein would have never been able to figure out if his wife came along and took his notes from the day before and said, "Sorry, you don't get these anymore."
Try again.
Right. You'd have to start over every day. Like Frosty the Snowman putting on his black hat every time. Be happy birthday! I just got here.
Could you just wait? There's a glass door in Nevada that you can work on. Fresh, brand new, gorgeous sliding door.
Listen, I have thoughts now. I have things that are going on in the old
About
brewery.
what?
Well, this one this didn't work out, so I want to talk
Pretty
about
soon
it.
I'm going to see the plans for the property. I know
Yep,
it.
you will, because that'll be where we're going next. I got to design where things are going on the property. Yeah, that's totally doable. But right now, this idea that I had that you saw didn't work out, so I don't want to talk about it. Wasn't worth it. You can erase it. Not every idea I have pans out.
What was your idea?
I said I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I want to talk about it.
I'm not telling you about
Go
it.
ahead, talk about it.
No, I'm not.
Describe it.
It was. I don't want to talk about it.
Come on.
No, because you're going to think it's like you're going to call me a pervert, and I'm not.
Everybody knows that.
You're gonna. Well, I don't need you saying it. Now, can we just move on? What? I'm not.
What is it? A new peeping Tom thing?
That's what you would say. But it has.
See, I already know where your mind goes.
It has practical applications other than spying. All right, so let's just move on. Can we go?
No, I'm kind of interested.
Nope, not. I'm not. I swear to
They
Christ.
probably have something to do with your dark glasses.
I am not telling you.
Because you always put on your dark glasses hoping nobody sees the wandering eyes.
Well, yeah, every guy does that. You can walk through a crowd and stare at boobs all day and no one knows. The problem is when you forget you don't have your glasses on.
Yeah, you've had that happen.
I've had that happen. Like, she's like, "Excuse me." I'm like, "Oh shit, fuck, don't got my glasses on." Sorry. What were you doing? I'm staring at your rack. What do you think I was doing? Normally I got my glasses.
Up here. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
So we're in the beginning stages of the Gen X Talks barbecue that we do every Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, this, not doing it, obviously, at the KGXT studios. We're moving to Minden, outside of Reno.
Mayhem
in Minden, we're calling it, because this isn't just a regular Gen X Talks barbecue.
No, it's not.
This is a steak cook-off between Chef John and Little Miss Hot and Nerdy.
And they're the
Christine
ones that
Matlock.
started it.
Yeah, they kind of challenged each other, and we're like, all right, well, let's see who's tough.
We'll launch this puppy. Wait. We ended up sponsoring it, but we're looking for sponsors.
Yeah. We're sponsoring it. I don't know, but if we don't get sponsors, then then it's going to be sponsored by the General's Wallet. Brought to you today by the General's Back Pocket.
Oh my gosh.
Christine Matlock has come on board on staff recently, and she is this is her first attempt at discussing sponsorships, getting people to put their names on things and help out and chip in. And so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully well. But if not, I think you and I have things covered on our end. If we don't, it just would be better to do it that way.
Yeah.
We are going to sell some tickets. We kind of went through in the last 3 or 4 days, we've kind of covered a lot of ground. The funny part is that Christine and I were on the phone. Okay, and get the Sun Valley Fox on the phone. St. Donna. Yes, we can do it at their house with the dates are right. The time is right. Go back to Christine. Yeah, she's free that time. We can do it. Get all things locked down and say, okay. And we'll set it up for August 16th and we'll get our tickets made out. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting here in the studio and I call Christine and go, hey, did anybody check to see if Chef John could make it? And she goes, what? I go, did anybody actually see if Chef John was busy on August 16th? She goes,
everybody else was good except one of the competitors. In line,
and he's like, so I got a hold of him. He goes, no, I can't make it that day. I'm like, God damn it. Okay, Chef John, when can you make it? And then he said, I really would like to do it Labor Day so I can take a little time off and hang out. And so then I checked with St. Donna. She got her calendar out.
Right.
And it was funny. When you talk to St. Donna, she's so used to mothering people. And she's so in tune with the community up there. So if you're talking to her now, St. Donna, get your calendar. Just tell me what dates in July can you do it? What dates in August can you do it? What dates in September can you do it? She'll tell you what dates she's available and her home is available. But she also, you don't want to do it on that day. See, there's a festival in town that day. There's a craft fair. I'm like, okay, St. Donna, I'll worry about what else is going on. I just need to know what you're doing. Oh, no, I'm fine. Okay, next weekend is the 30th. Yeah, we could do it 30. Oh, you don't want it's Labor Day. Boy, the hotel. Donna, I'll worry about what's going on in town. But she's so used to mothering. She's got the information already. Why not share it? Because what if it's something I don't know?
Right. You know what I was thinking last night? Parking.
Hold on. Let me get to that. So I've already covered part of that.
But I have something to add.
Okay, can I get to the end of we'll get to the parking conversation, then you can tell me your story. So we call Chef John back. We get the 30th thing. We get that worked out. We call Christine. Okay, everybody's on board. So now it is August 31st, which is a Sunday. There is a big bottom of the glass show for staff Saturday at the Foxhole Studios in Minden. And anybody who's there Friday will do a little staff dinner. And Gen X Talks can pay for the staff dinner.
Just like we normally do.
So we can meet, probably go to that pizza factory, something, hanging out, have a few beers and some pizza and calzones and talk for a while. And then I guess Christine can bring, what's his name? She always brings him as a plus one. What is with women bringing their husbands as their plus one? I just don't get that.
I do it all the time.
No, you're my plus one.
I don't know about that.
And so we'll do that Friday. We'll have a staff dinner. Then Saturday, we'll set up some stuff around for the barbecue, but we'll have a big show that night. Then Sunday, we'll fine tune it. We thought of Christine's going to get portable bathrooms on a trailer, nice ones with sinks and mirrors and lights. That way, nobody has to go inside Donna's house. Yeah. Mike Perkins has got security. We talked about locking up the house, locking up all the gates except for one entrance, and having someone at the sliding glass door so no one gets in or out. And Donna said that, Christine and John could prep in her kitchen if she wanted, but we'll keep someone stationed there. We talked about the number of people coming, and we already have, I can already count 25 people that are, before we even sell one ticket, 25 people that are staff and friends. Iceman from Bodfish is flying in. Let me tell you Iceman's side story, and I'll tell the audience this.
Oh, yeah, you get to tell his story, but I can't tell mine.
All right. Remind me to, will you remind me to come back and tell Iceman's story?
Yes.
All right. Don't forget. Penalty if you forget. Okay. So we sent out an email to all staff saying, hey, here's the framework of what we got going. Danny H. said you didn't think about trash cans. And I'm like, oh, shit, we didn't. Tables and chairs, yes. Bathrooms, yes. You and Donna are working out all the food for burgers and dogs and picnic stuff, yes. We forgot about trash cans. Danny H. pointed that out. So we'll get trash cans on the list. We'll make sure we got enough for everybody. We talked about security. Mike Perkins is renting a 7-passenger van for the weekend. And he is going to give his number directly to anybody in the area participating. And he is going to be his own Uber driver because he's a regular Uber driver and he lives up there. And he's going to shuttle anybody. If you're staying in Reno or Minden or Carson City, he will shuttle us back and forth. You do got to pay him. Don't be a ginch and think that just because he's a nice guy, give him a couple bucks, man. Help the guy out.
He's doing us a favor.
He's doing a great job for this. And what he said, he goes, there is a park nearby, the Foxhole Studios. There's a park just down the street. And what he wants everybody to do is park there.
And he'll do the shuttle.
And he'll shuttle everybody up to the Sun Valley St. Donna's house. And that way that we don't have,
There's also a school.
60 cars out front. Just park at the park. He'll shuttle everybody up there. I mean, it's Minden. No one's going to break into anything anyway. You could probably leave your keys in the car and they'd still be there. So that's going to alleviate all the traffic on the street and the driveway. We'll just tell everybody, don't fucking park here. We could put out caution tape right across the driveway. Say, don't park in here. Park down the street and we'll come get you.
My thing about parking is that maybe my brother would want to invite Mike across the street and the neighbor next door to the barbecue. And maybe while that thing is, we could park a few cars.
Yeah.
Because we could put staff over there.
Yeah, I was going to say, if your brother went to a couple neighbors and said, hey, why don't you come over to the barbecue and hang out and meet everybody? And could we, we're parking
just
in the street.
4 to 9.
But if we have a couple cars in your driveway, just staff.
Right.
Strictly staff. Everybody else just needs to park down the street and we'll shuttle you in. But I think that'll work great. Everyone will be given instructions. Everyone will be given a map. We'll have it on the website. We'll show where the park is. We'll show pictures of the park. It'll be easy to follow.
It's even on where they can purchase tickets. I can put that on there too.
Right. We'll do the whole thing. The whole website will be set up for that. Tickets might even go on sale today if we can get it done. If not by tomorrow. But it's the everything's coming together nicely. It'd just be nice to have sponsors helping us out.
And just for the price of the ticket is not that expensive. It's just to cover costs for us.
Right, and you get food and beer.
And you get food.
Yeah.
But it's an offset of the cost. But where was I going with that? And then you interrupted me.
I don't know.
Road.
You're talking about parking. You were talking about
now I can't
tickets.
remember.
Well, and we don't know what we're charging for the tickets yet. We kind of have an idea, but it's going to cover, you want hamburgers and hot dogs, you want beers and sodas and water. We do have to rent some tables. We do got to rent the bathroom. We do got to buy all the food. So it does help. And there's a lot of people that are getting in for free. Staff is getting in for free. Everybody's +1 gets in for free. The judges are getting in for free. We got 20 people getting in for free. Well, guess what? I got to feed all them too. So there's.
I know what I was going to say. The money is also kind of a confirmation to us that you are serious about coming. Because we have in the past had people we've given it free and we've counted all these people coming and then at the last minute nobody shows.
Well, there's two schools of thought on that. One is that people, if they buy a ticket, they're more inclined to show up.
Yes.
We're not overbuying for people that aren't going to come. They're like, well, I didn't pay for a ticket. I don't care if I show up anyway.
Right.
But the other one is you don't normally, even if you charge $50 for a ticket for an event, and we have on some events, you usually don't get assholes showing up. Assholes show up to free events.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all meeting at the park on Saturday. Come on down. Well, then you get every jabroni known to man, and there's assholes that show up. But if you say, hey, this is a closed event, it's $50 a ticket, behave yourself, the people that spend the $50 are usually serious about coming. They want to be there, and they're good people.
Yeah.
So there's two schools of thought with that. But yeah, charging for the ticket is absolutely the right way to go for a couple of different reasons.
That's what I wanted to say. All right, now tell your Iceman story.
So, Iceman has been living a miserable life. And it's self-imposed
by his choice. It's his choice.
He's done this to himself.
Sorry, Iceman, I love you.
For the most intelligent guy I know, he's the dumbest smart guy I know. So lately, he's been coming around, though. He's been hanging out with us. He's been going back to his place in Bodfish. He's starting to get that spark back about life. He's looking good. He's feeling good.
Yeah, he's got that ZZ Top beard going. He kind of has your beard not as long.
Don't you say it's beat. He does not have my beard beat.
It's looking pretty good.
No, don't you say it.
A little too long for my taste.
Don't you say it.
But it's looking good.
So, and he's been coming around. He's been hanging out for a week or so up at his cabin in Bodfish, coming over here. And I said, well, you got to come out and we'll do some stuff and we'll get you into Reno and we'll do some podcasts because there's a podcast he wants to do with Dr. McDreamy. Mm-hmm. Dr. McDreamy wants to do it with him. There's some gold stories we want to do. So we got to have him come up there. He goes, well, I just got you to know I can't come up on a Sunday. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, if you want to fly me into Reno, I'll come in on a Saturday morning. We'll do the show. But I have to be home Sunday morning. I go visit my daughter every Sunday. Got visitation.
That puts a damper on the whole
I know.
thing.
He's like, he's 3. She's 3, I think, 2 or 3. And he's like, I have to do it. Big commitment. I'm not. I said, you can't switch a day or something. He goes, nope, I will not do it. I said, all right, man, I respect that. Raise a glass, have a shot of whiskey together, and move on.
Right.
So then it comes about, as we might have mentioned very recently,
as you know,
as one notices, that we just decided a couple of days ago the barbecue is going to be on a Sunday. Well, he wanted
Sunday, Ixnay, no Sundays.
So
he didn't realize that.
I told him, I texted him, said, look, man, you're not going to like this.
We always hold on a Sunday.
I know you want to go do this. I know you're coming around. I know you're getting out more. You're experiencing stuff more. You got
getting
that spark.
Out of state now.
That's right.
Big jump.
Big step.
Yeah.
And but we're doing it on Sunday. So I was willing to bring you up there, but I'm sorry that
really sorry
that you won't be able to attend. I'm respecting your parental situation. I'm respecting the fact that you want to be with your daughter, but this was the big event, the one you really wanted to be part of.
Right.
But we respect you. We love you. Maybe next year.
Have a good weekend.
He writes back and goes, I'll move my day. He goes, I just said, what? He goes, I'll change the day. I'll go out with my daughter on Monday. I'll take the day off work Monday because it's Labor Day. He goes, I'll go spend Monday with her. She's 3. She won't know. She won't know that it's Sunday. I go, wait a minute.
Wait, what was all
what
that
happened
the
to the
other
big
day?
speech that you were giving me, the lecture you were giving me about how important these days are to be on Sunday? He's like, no, we're good. He goes, is there going to be whiskey? I said, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Second yawn of the day.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Where's my coffee?
I didn't even order it. Should I have ordered it when you said ordered it? I probably should have.
Oh my goodness, guys. Boys, men. When your wife gives you a hint, roll with it, man.
I never even thought that that's really what you wanted me to do. It just sounds so expensive to order a cup of coffee.
It's gone now. It's just gone.
So it looks like it's coming together. I know there's people that have been messaging me about tickets. They want to make sure that they get a ticket. I said, I can't give you one ahead of time. I just could tell you. Now, the member sites, Patreon, the General's Lunchbox on Facebook, and YouTube's member site in the community section, they will get the notice first. Paying members will get a head start on ticket sales.
That's understandable.
And we'll let them, if they want to pick through the tickets, then they can, and then we'll put it out public and make it. And I'm sure people will know. If you paying attention on Discord, there's a third yawn.
I'm so sorry.
So the tickets will go up soon, and the members will get a shot at them first. So
hey, I told you yesterday I wanted to get like Team Chef John, Team Christine, little things. Yeah. I want to get this rivalry,
little paddles, like ping pong paddles with their face on it.
Yeah, auction things and have the crowd get into it and stuff. I don't know. I'm thinking that's kind of fun.
Speaking of Iceman, he sent me a message. He goes, so I get back from the weekend, I was up at my cabin, and then I came by your place, and he goes, my boss asked me, so what'd you do this past week? He goes, I went to my cabin, came some stuff, and I went by my friend's social media channel, and he goes, oh, what's your friend? He goes, oh, it's Gen X Talks, and his boss is like, you know those guys? He goes, yeah, I was on their show. He goes, you know those guys. You know Gen X Talks.
Been friends with them for years.
He goes, yeah, I've been friends with them for like 15 years. He goes, no, you don't know. He goes, yeah, here's pictures of me. And then he goes, oh, you know them. So Iceman goes, can you just shout out my boss? And I said, yeah, what's his name? He goes, what? I go, well, I can't just call him some random... Iceman's boss who's in charge of a concrete inspection company in Phoenix, Arizona.
Shout out.
That's a little vague. And you know what Iceman says? He goes, no, that's all he needs. Don't give him any more. He never gave me his name. So I'm supposed to say...
You don't even know the cement company name.
I don't know anything. There's some random...
jabroni.
Some random jabroni who is
in Arizona.
A boss of a guy named Iceman. And he doesn't
go by Iceman.
No, he doesn't know him as Iceman. So this guy could be listening right now going, well, I don't none of my employees
know an Iceman.
None of my employees are named Iceman. I don't know what this is.
He should better have that put on his truck.
Yeah, so
Iceman.
So thank you to some random concrete business owner who employs Iceman in the Phoenix area. Thanks for listening.
Give Iceman a raise.
Yeah, and then Ice goes, that'll be sufficient. Just do that. And I said, well, can I call him Knox Harrington? Can I throw in a Lebowski thing? He goes, well, I don't even know if he watches Lebowski.
Wow.
I was like, okay, so now I'm done. There was the random generic plug, but here's the thing. Because there's probably 20 concrete companies, did 20 people just hear this and go,
that's me.
I wonder if that's me. Yeah. I wonder if I'm employing Iceman.
Bring every employee in. We'll find out who Iceman is.
Are you Iceman? Next. Are you Iceman? Next.
There you go.
So I don't know. That's as close as Ice didn't want me to get too chummy with the guy. So just leave it at that. Oh,
makes
for God's sake!
wonder.
I know. Yeah. So Iceman's coming. It looks like. Tentatively, it looks like Dr. McDreamy, MarcyZavala.com, Iceman, Danny H. from staff will be there, Mike Perkins, Mary M., Sun Valley Fox and St. Donna, Chef John, of course, Christine Matlock with her husband, Ben Matlock.
Never lost a case.
Except
2.
And it looks like it's...
Allegedly.
Things are going good. It looks like we're getting a good crowd. Before we even sell a ticket, I think we've already got as many people as it were at the last barbecue here before we even sell one ticket. Cool. So... I'm hoping that there's some regulars that come. Like I wish John Jensen could make it. I don't know how he's feeling these days, if he can travel. But that things are looking up. Yeah. That people have a little more money to spend right now. I'm hoping that they can come that direction. And plus, we haven't even let the town know. I've been recognized so many times in Minden and Carson City and Gardnerville that once I'm not going to put a billboard up, but if you tell people and the word gets around, there might be locals that want to buy a ticket and come too.
Well, let's ease into that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not running down the street naked with holding the flag in the air, but I'm just saying that.
Wow.
Wow.
Give me a moment. Wow.
I'm just saying that when I think the local community is much more supportive of Gen X Talks than it is here. I think many more people know us there, and they would be wanting to go to these things and hang out and do stuff. The more public events we do with our canopies and stuff, I think more people will go, holy shit, you're here. So that's a good thing, but not as much for this event. But I think it'll sell out quick.
That's cool. Maybe I'll put up a table with some of the merchandise that I have and just kind of give it away. There's some stuff from way back when kind of thing.
If you can find the boxes, we've packed it all up.
I have till September. We'll see.
Yeah, just
gotta get me up there though. I keep telling you. I had a meltdown last weekend.
I'm not happy about that.
I'm really sorry, but I think I finally hit a wall with that one.
I thought you were faking it.
I was not faking it.
I had so much going on that night, that show, that evening. Low Torque was here. Iceman was here. Mary M was here. We had the big show going. We were dragging on long. It was going to be great. And 4 hours before the show, you have the biggest freak out of our entire marriage.
I had told Mary Friday night that my nerves were on edge. I told her when she arrived, I said, I don't know. I am I want to cry. I go, this has gone on for 11 weeks. And I said, I am just about ready to lose my mind. And then Brigger was working on some of the faucets or whatever, and he forgot to shut one off, and the water.
Well, I'll explain what happened. Brigger was working on, he was replacing some faucets in the bathroom. And of course, everybody knows you reach under, you shut off the water, and you replace the faucets, and then you can turn the water back on. Well, one of the faucets was installed, one wasn't. Right. And we needed to have water back on in the house. So I told Briggs, all right, the faucet that's installed, turn on the water. The faucet you have not installed, just make sure the valves are off. And when you turn on the water, everything will be fine. And he goes, okay, the valves are off. And one wasn't.
And you had me go up there. And the water was pouring.
And it shot out of there. When he turned the water back onto the house, you started screaming. You were yelling at me that ye should not be doing this. You should be supervising this. You should not be having him do plumbing if he doesn't know what he's doing. And I'm like, he told me the valve was off. What more do you want me to do?
It didn't matter at that point.
No, at that moment. And you were done. The rest of the day, that night, you were a fucking mental case. And I thought you did it just to fuck with me. I was so mad at you. Like, why are you doing this to me right now? And you're like, I'm not coming downstairs. I'm not helping. I'm like, well, then fuck you. So we did the show. It was a great show. But the whole time I'm waiting for the show to be over just where I can tell you to fuck off again because I was so mad.
It wasn't.
That you left me hanging.
Literally bad. It was really, really bad.
You know what? If that's your biggest problem in life, you're still doing okay.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just hit a wall.
Yeah, well, apparently you did. It was bad timing because it hurt my feelings. I thought you did it on purpose.
And the other thing is I had no idea you invited any of those people over. Nobody informed me that was a big night with all those people.
I'm kind of glad because you couldn't even handle a regular show that night. Can you imagine the pressure you would have mentally been under had I told you? Oh, my God. Good thing your husband was dumb and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
See? Being dumb comes in handy. I was protecting your mental state. That's right.
Yeah, right.
You're welcome.
And then just beating the shit out of me with verbally. Oh, yeah, mental state's great.
I didn't really beat the shit out of you verbally. I told you once, I said, you know what? If you're not coming, fuck off. That was it. That's not, well, you act like I berated you and I screamed in your face or something and I pulled the blankets off the bed and started screaming at your butt or something. I didn't do that.
Screaming at my butt.
Yeah, well, the rest of you wasn't listening.
Okay. All right. So we've been dabbling in the KGXT radio.
Yes.
That's been fun.
No.
Well, it's been kind of fun.
Well, you've been asking me questions I don't know answers to on how things work.
Yeah.
Like we can have a news feed go every hour. We can choose where we do the news feed from. You're like, why don't we have a news feed at the top of every hour? I said, because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do that. And I guarantee Josh hasn't figured it out. He hasn't. I don't think he's explored all the things in there at all.
Leave it to Mom. Mom will come in.
What I didn't like was last night I was talking with Danny H. Well, staff mainly, Mary M. And we're in the semi-staff thread.
Right.
And my main complaint about the station there's things that need to be fixed. Album covers still need to be fixed.
Oh yeah, that's going to be ongoing.
But the thing, I was listening, you and I were doing some work, and I was listening to the KGXT radio station, and we went probably a good hour, and it was like, oh my God, this is so fucking mellow.
Yeah, then we just started slumping, going,
Now, they're not bad songs.
They're not, but it got really mellow.
Well, let's say Boston, More Than a Feeling. Great song.
Right.
I'll always love that song. It goes on the radio station, but It's More Than a Feeling by Boston has a tone, it has a mood, it has a vibe. And so did the next song.
And we just started slumping.
And the next song. And the next song, until you realize between the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Josh has put in a bulk of the radio station was this mellow vibe. And I'm like, this is not what I'm looking for. It's not like he picked bad songs.
No, and they're fine if you want, like, you did like a love song hour or whatever.
Right.
But or a mellow hour. There's something, but we were losing it.
It was over an hour, and I'm going, okay, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. You need ebb and flow.
Yeah, you got to have some ebb and flow.
You got to have your emotions, like, go up
and some songs,
settle down.
Some songs, I don't care.
Like a concert.
I don't care if you have a hard rock and roll song followed by an easy listening song, as long as they blend together. If the exit of one song kind of matches the beginning of another, like, okay, you're going from Judas Priest to Air Supply. On paper, everyone would go, no, never do that. Right. But if you listen to a few, like, wait a second, but this Priest song with that Air Supply song, sometimes you can find, like, no, that's okay with where I was. You're taking me on a journey. You're telling me a story that kind of fits. Now, there's many that don't, but I was sick of the whole thing. I started at song 1. Right. And you and I went through every song. We got probably rid of 13 or 14 songs. We rearranged quite a few.
We did.
Because there is a break between 50s and 60s music, 90s music, AC/DC versus REO Speedwagon. And on paper, everyone was like, you can't put those next to each other. Well, you can if you're listening. I believe you really can. If you're paying attention, there are songs that kind of like, okay, either they're the same vibe. Maybe they came out. Maybe Judas Priest and Air Supply came out with the song the same year. So in your memory, you remember listening to them both in 11th grade. Maybe there's some things that tie together, but you got to find those things in your head and your heart and how it feels. And I did. I went through 460 some songs, and I stopped at that. And I said, okay, I'm done. And I purged out a lot. I reblended the songs and how I thought they should go.
Did you see me? I was rocking, and then you'd switch songs, and I'm like, Okay, I'm still in the same,
you were like you were my human metronome.
I was.
Going back and forth.
All right.
So I'd play the beginning of a song and I'd look over, oh, are we okay?
And I'm like, still rocking.
And then if it came down, if you didn't make a face, so I had input, you had input, but this is really what needs to be done. If you're going to be in charge of a radio station like that, you got to go to that level. You have to just sit there and go, this is my baby, this is my thing, and you got to go through. And I remember telling Danny H. and staff, I'm in songs 330s, and I'm struggling because I don't like these songs. They don't fit right. Something doesn't feel right, and I'm trying to. And by the time I got to the 400s, I was really struggling, and I stopped because I had moved 11 songs or 12 songs that were good, great songs.
Yeah, but they just didn't go there.
So I'm moving them down the list thinking, okay, I'll include them in a minute. And I never found a place to put them, and I finally stopped. But from song 1 to about 460, I'm confident it's good enough. It's more than good enough.
You know what I thought of last night? In the wee hours of the morning, I'm like, oh, we should have put the whole playlist in like chat GPT and let them arrange it.
I said, what order would you put these in? I wonder if you could do that.
I wonder if you could do that. They have on the radio website. You can get an AI like DJ.
Boy, you about kicked me in my balls last night. You were so mad because you've been bugging me about making an app for the phone because everybody says, can I get an app for my phone? Can I get a KGH? And I'm like, no, I don't know how to build an app. I've tried. I'm not smart enough. I'm so
tired of that.
Nobody can do it. I've tried to hire people to do it. They don't want to do it. There's liability. And so I just gave up on it kind of for now. It's been 2 years. And then you were poking around the radio station in the back rooms of the radio. You had me let you log in where you could see stuff.
Yeah, because I had the main entry.
So you're in there poking. What's the news thing about? What's this about? How do you do this? Then you went, oh my God.
Gosh.
You screamed, there's a thing on here for $35. They will build you an app for you. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Fucking Josh didn't tell me. Goddamn Josh.
Yeah, you put Josh under the... Oh, my God.
You mean Josh had access to that this whole time and didn't tell? I didn't know either. How would I know that? I wasn't...
When you go look at the website, there's so many things on there, add-ons.
I know, but I've never done that. That's not been my thing. I'm just now realizing, how much stuff needs to be fixed inside the radio station and how many more things we could be doing. I had no idea these things were there.
No shit, Sherlock.
Nobody ever came to me and said, hey, do you want to put a news thing at the top of every hour? Sure. How do we do it? And what do we get to choose? You know what I thought of too?
What?
Was try to stay neutral. I wouldn't put up Fox News. I wouldn't put up CNN. But I wonder if we figured out how to do a news update, I wonder if I went to Chris Cuomo and said, hey, some of your middle of the road stuff is pretty solid. He's very good about staying neutral and stating events as he sees them.
Pay for it.
I think they'd pay for it.
I don't.
Or at least I think Chris would. I think if there was a way to link, if Chris Cuomo gave me the thumbs up and had me talk to Pat or one of his staff and said, where do I pick up the link for this? Chris said I could do it. They wouldn't care. Here you go, because they're trying to get their name out there more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think if it's as long as I'm not putting up something super left, something super right, and like I tell you, Chris has been so in the middle since his career change that I've been happy listening. I'm thinking maybe put something up there as long as he stays centered. I'd be into that.
Well, we have to talk about that.
Well, sure, but at least it's a conversation to have.
Yeah.
And we do have a relationship there. So I don't know, at least talk about it, think about going down that road.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're right. There is so much more inside the radio station stuff that we haven't even tapped into because we didn't know it was there. I never even looked. But we do have to get the station in order first. We got to get our 1,000 songs on our playlist where they flow. And it's not, I would not want to be a plumber, a construction worker, or an automotive worker working on cars.
With easy listening.
And I'm listening to elevator music for 2 hours. I can't do it.
Whoa. The 80s are elevator music.
You stop. You take that back. But, it's not, like I said, I'm going to reiterate this. It's not Josh's fault. Like, it's his fault he put him up there. But he didn't pick bad songs.
No, they're all good.
70s, 80s, and 90s. These are all good songs. But this is Josh's vibe. Of course he likes them. He's thinking this is the greatest thing ever because this is where he's at. It's just not what I was looking. I'm looking for a little more upbeat.
Yes.
So, it's not like I'd be mad at Josh and go, what the fuck did you? No. He was
doing his job.
He did his job just fine. It's just not the songs that we were looking for people trying to keep motivated during the day on a Wednesday afternoon when they're trying to go through hump day and they're listening to Air Supply, then Chicago, it's a little slow.
Those are for Sundays.
So we did that. I got to about 460 songs. I got to go back and redo them. We got to get back in there and do album covers. You think I've bitched about album covers so much, you think Josh would have just gone in and done it. You think he would have snuck in there, spent a couple days, and said, "Oh, sorry about that. By the way, every album cover's done."
He doesn't have time.
I don't think he does either.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's got time to be that guy.
Oh, I think we've exhausted all our efforts here.
Are we done?
I believe so.
How long do you think we've been on?
Just under an hour. 58 minutes.
56.
Whoa! I really thought it was like...
It's pretty close.
I thought it was like 45, to be honest. I was being
generous. I don't think I have an automotive story for you.
That's okay.
Honestly, I'm surprised we're even doing this. We were both so tired this morning, and I was trying to hurry the scrap guys up to get here. But it is with confidence, I say this. With confidence, I believe this is our last show from our podcast, our Gen X Talks podcast from KGXT Studios in the Southern California area. I think this is it.
Game on.
I do believe that because we have the repairs and the dragging on stuff, that we will have tonight's show.
Okay.
And Saturday's show, Bottom of the Glass Nation show from here. But I will say with confidence that will be the last show.
Wow.
And I'm trying to get Low Torque to come back over. He he wanted to come over tonight. He was like, I'll come over tonight. We'll hang out. And he goes, wait a minute, it's my wife's birthday. Can't do it tonight. I'm like, well, tell her, she can come. He's like, no. He goes, and then she'll probably want to do something this weekend. But if we're not doing something Saturday, then he goes, I'll come over for the last show. Because now it's officially the last show. And his visit last time, first of all, you were being a nutcase. And he was in and out of here really quick. He had to go because he had his in-laws in town.
Right.
So he couldn't drink as much. He couldn't hang out as much. He wants to come back and, go out with a bang like we all do on that. So I think Saturday's show, you and I should take our medications, take our Geritol. I think we should plan on a big fan-based, like a neighborhood show. Do a lot of phone calls.
Depends on how my birthday turns out.
Are you kidding me? You're going to hang that over my fucking head? I thought the Bottom of the Glass show, a big show, would be your birthday.
That's the day after my birthday.
This is the day before your birthday. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm fixing up your fucking house so you can sell it. Oh, look at that big bottom lip. Oh, boo, 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 boo. I promise you, I will get you flowers or something. And like I said, a cup of coffee and a bagel and a
carrot cake
and a hearty handshake. Yeah. How would you like ice cream and cake for breakfast?
Slice of carrot cake. You can get it at Vaughn's. Because nobody else likes carrot cake.
Nobody likes carrot cake.
I love carrot cake.
Carrot cake is awful.
It is so good. It's one of my favorites.
That's why whenever you make a carrot cake, it lasts for like a month. Because
I don't. I go to Vaughn's when I want it and I buy it.
You buy it by the slice because if you make one, it just
sits there.
One slice at a time, it goes away whenever you want some. Otherwise, it'll stay there for everybody. It's like, hey, what's under the glass dish? Carrot cake. Oh.
But if I make a Mountain Dew cake,
gone in an hour. I will fight for your Mountain Dew cake. It's so good.
All right, people.
All right, so I guess tonight's show, prepare yourselves. It'll be the Gen X Mom birthday special because we either got to do it this one or Saturday. We'll try to do it tonight for your birthday, and we'll see how that comes out. I think that was that. We talked about the barbecue, talked about Sun Valley Fox.
You're done.
We talked about making them feel safe and secure, that we have everything under control.
Yeah, my brother's probably regretting opening his mouth going, yeah, we'll do it up here.
Yep. Yeah, I think St. Donna punched him and went, don't say that. Although I want to say something completely sweet about Donna. When we talked about on the phone, we got everybody on the phone. We discuss things and get permission before we say things. We joke with you. It is
their personal residence.
Yeah, we joke with you guys about stuff, but we try to be as respectful as we can. We love St. Donna and Sun Valley Fox so much. So we did call them and say, hey, would you mind if we did a bottom of the glass show from your house Saturday before the barbecue? We'd like to invite staff to be part of it. So Danny H. will be there, but he'll have his wife also. Christine Matlock will be there, but she'll have her husband also. Mike Perkins will be there. U.I. Briggs will be there. St. Donna, Sun Valley Fox. Well, now it's a small dinner party. And that's if one more staff shows up, you could have two more. So I brought that up, and I'm thinking they're going to say no. Because we'd want to do a show, all the lights, all the cameras, want to bring everything and set it up hours ahead of time, make sure it all works. And St. Donna, I was like, I don't know, maybe we should just order some pizza and try to make it easy on St. Donna because she's going to be, watching this whole thing. You know what she said? Do you remember what she told us?
Yeah, she goes, oh, well, I'll just make something.
She goes, I'll get you a home-cooked meal. I'll do some chicken or I'll do some meats and I'll make something. I'll take care of everybody. You don't just let me.
That's her.
That's her, yeah. And when she does it, it's not just like, here's the chicken on the grill, slap it on the plate. No, she has sides and garnishments. She does the world's best deviled eggs that I think I've ever had.
Now that I'll be up there, I'll be able to help her though.
Sure,
too.
and Danny H. Sahara H.
Oh yeah,
she said, catering. Is there anything I can do? She does what?
She does catering.
Yeah, she offered. She says, please, is there any? I would like to be useful and help. So if you tell St. Donna that you and Sahara would like to be helped, whatever you needed, they do it. And I think that setting that up is going to be a wonderful, big, home-cooked meal. And I mean, trimmings. She just does it that way. She makes big salads. She does the whole thing. Is when you're there, she treats you like it's a big family dinner.
It is every single time.
I was so pleased when I got off the phone. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe, because I know what it means when St. Donna offers you that. When she says she's gonna, I know what that's gonna look like. I've experienced it, so no one else does, and even my words aren't gonna describe it right. But wait till you're there.
Yes, exactly.
No pressure, but I do like chocolate melody for dessert. Why did you huff? Why would you huff?
Because it's really hard to find the chocolate wafer.
Because no one knows how to make chocolate melody.
I have the recipe.
No one even knows what that is.
From your Uncle Frank.
You got Uncle Frank's chocolate melody recipe?
Yes, I do. He gave it to me.
Well, why haven't I been having chocolate melody once a month for 20 years?
Wow.
I'm a little upset. I'm sorely vexed at this moment.
All right. Well, Zay, this podcast is over, everyone. Have a great day. We'll catch you on the flip side.
You are in trouble. I don't think any of you know what chocolate melody is, but if there's a chance we can have 2 big dishes of it for the Bottom of the Glass Nation show, boy, oh boy.
Oh, boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy. Boy, howdy. You made fun of me for saying that, you jerk.
Boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy. All right. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Yeah, good night, Gracie.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Not sure where you're listening in from around the planet, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. One of the last times Gen X Talks broadcasting from the KGXT studios in the Southern Hemisphere. Please, I said Southern Hemisphere. Yes, it's the Southern Hemisphere of the Gen X Talks world. Minden is the Northern Hemisphere of our world. This studio is the Southern Hemisphere.
Good recovery.
This is our South Pole. No, I've explained this to you before. Ladies and gentlemen, remember 2 things in this life. Number 1, wherever you go, there you are. And number 2, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'm out, baby.
Bye-bye.